Pro Football Focus top 10 defenses ahead of the 2025 season. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Kangaroo Black coming back once again to talk about Pro Football Focus's top 10 defenses ahead of the college football season. I'm not going to waste any time getting into the video, but if you want to go read this article yourself, just go to profootballfocus.com. According to Pro Football Focus, Texas Tech has the number 10 defense coming into the 2025 season. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know anything about Texas Tech football, because I don't. I can't tell you who the head coach is. I can't tell you who the offensive coordinator or the defensive coordinator is. I can't tell you who the quarterback is. I can't name not one player on Texas Tech football team. I have no interest in Texas Tech football because they are mediocre. They haven't done nothing in forever. I think the last time I watched a Texas Tech football game, Mike Leach was the coach. Way back in 2008, when they had the number one offense in the country. Everybody was ranting and raving about that air raid offense. But since then, nothing. But anyway, according to Pro Football Focus, the Red Raiders raided the transfer portal this offseason and built up one of the best defensive lines in college football. All four projected starters are incoming transfers, and Texas Tech now has Pro Football Focus's third-ranked defensive line. Linebacker Jacob Rodriguez is one of the better players at his position in the country. And transfer Bryce Pollock and Cole Wazinski should help the secondary that struggled last year. Talking about this defensive line. Now, in my opinion, having four defensive starters all coming from the transfer portal, or four defensive linemen all coming from the transfer portal, that's not a good thing in my opinion. I don't think you can build an elite defensive line solely through the transfer portal. I don't believe it, because I don't believe the continuity will be immediately there. That's just my opinion. I don't believe that you can build an elite football team through the transfer portal, offensively or defensively. But according to Pro Football Focus, Texas Tech got the 10th ranked defense coming into the 2025 season. At number 9, according to Pro Football Focus, you got Texas A&M. I firmly believe that Texas A&M will continue to be a middle-of-the-road SEC team. My opinion once again. Now, I do think Mike Elko has improved that team from when he took over from Jimbo Fisher. They have pretty solid defenses anyway. I remember, 2023, when they was leading the nation in sacks. But like I say, they'll continue to be a middle-of-the-road team because they don't have elite offenses. That's just me. But anyway, according to Pro Football Focus, the Aggies have Pro Football Focus, a 6th ranked linebacker unit led by the number 2 linebacker in the country, Tyron York. The defensive line is a top 15 group with potential breakout stars, edge defender Cassius Howell, and defensive tackle Tyron Onyundem. I guess that's how you pronounce his name. The secondary needs to play better, but Texas A&M does return plenty of experienced players in that unit, and that's a good thing. The more experience you got, the better you will be. But Texas A&M, they got to work on that offense. I have no doubt that the defense can be good. Can they be elite? I don't know. But they can be good enough to keep them in the middle of the SEC. Just my opinion. Okay, but according to Pro Football Focus, Texas A&M got the 9th ranked defense coming into the country. At number 8, you got Ohio State, which I think this is a little underrated. That's just me. They got Caleb Downs coming back, probably the best defensive back in all of college football. I know they replacing players on that defense, but just like in Alabama or Georgia, you can name some other programs, they have elite players just waiting their turn. So Ohio State got 4 and 5 stars up and down the bench, just like these other elite teams. And they may have a little drop off, but I don't think it'll be much. They got new defense coordinator, Matt Patricia. So we'll see what kind of scheme that he implemented. Did he go away from the scheme that they was, had last year? We'll have to see about that. But according to Pro Football Focus, safety Caleb Downs is the best defensive player in college football. And Pro Football Focus is second-ranked player overall behind only teammate Jeremiah Smith. Downs would lead a top 5 secondary in college football. The team's linebacker unit also found its way into the top 10 and features Pro Football Focus' 10th-ranked linebacker, Sonny Styles. Ohio State's defensive line lost many key players. But players like edge rusher Kenyatta Jackson Jr. are ready to step up. Like I said, Ohio State got players just waiting their turn. Even you're going to see new faces in this defense, and it's going to be some more sitting on the bench or on the sideline waiting their turn next year. So, hey, that's just how I roll with these elite teams, these teams that recruit at a high level. And plus, you got NIL now. That helps out, too. So, once again, according to Pro Football Focus, Ohio State got the 8th-ranked defense ahead of the 2025 season, which I think is a little underrated. All right, at number 7, you got Oregon. Oregon have some pretty solid defenses, man. You would think coming out the Pac-12, those teams, they really wasn't defensively sound. They was more about offense. But hey, even though Dan Lanning is an offensive coach, this guy still put together, elite, top-ranked defenses. I'll just put it that way. Because I liked his defense at Oregon. That's when they was in the Pac-12, and now that they in the Big Ten. Being in the Big Ten, I think it'll be even better. That's just me. According to Pro Football Focus, the Ducks secondary placed 6th in Pro Football Focus's offensive ranking, with a few exciting transfers leading the charge. No one more than Purdue's Dylan Thieneman, Pro Football Focus 3rd-ranked returning safety of 2025. Oregon, who also has Oregon, was also the honorable mention in Pro Football Focus defensive line and linebacker unit rankings, with stars like Matayo Ungulalele and Bryce Boucher headlining respectively. I guess I might have butchered his name, Boettcher. Okay? But anyway, I don't know how the hell you pronounce that, but I know what Ungulalele is. But anyway, Oregon, they're going to have a pretty solid defense, man. Oregon going to be a playoff team, no doubt about it. So I'm excited to see what Oregon bringing to the table this season. Anyway, Oregon, Ohio State, the teams in the Big Ten, Michigan, USC. I'm excited to see what they bringing to the table this year. But I think Oregon is going to be one of the best teams in the country. They're going to be one of the best teams in the Big Ten. They're going to have one of the best defenses in the Big Ten. That's just my opinion. Now, according to Pro Football Focus, Oregon will have the number 7 defense heading into the 2025 season. At number 6, you got Notre Dame. Matter of fact, let's put 5 and 6 together. 6 is Notre Dame, 5 is Penn State. If those two programs, if their defense resemble anything like they did last year, they won't have any problem. Neither one of them, Oregon or Penn State. Okay, so I know both teams replacing some players. But as I said, just like I said with Ohio State, they got players waiting their turn. Okay, now I think both of these teams will be playoff teams. That's just my opinion. But let's see what Pro Football Focus got to say about Notre Dame, the number 6 defense in the country. The Fighting Irish elite coverage unit propelled the team to the national championship game last year, and it remains an elite group in 2025. Notre Dame features Pro Football Focus number 3 secondary top returning cornerback sophomore Leonard Moore. The program's linebacker unit also placed in the top 5 thanks to an outstanding depth. The one question mark is the lack of star power along the defensive line, but the Fighting Irish is still expected to have. The Fighting Irish is still. What the hell? The Fighting Irish still have experienced players there. Okay, talking about the defensive line. Yeah, I believe in this defense. That's a fact. That's a fact. So I think they're going to be pretty good. I have no doubt about it. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Old Rudy. The pot of gold. The lucky charm man. Oh, man, I think this defense is going to be pretty good once again. And I hope it's as good as it was last year, because I sure enjoyed watching that defense in the playoff. I really enjoyed it. Anyway, all except when they went up against Ohio State. Sorry. But anyway, Notre Dame will have one of the best defenses in the country. And according to Pro Football Focus, Notre Dame will have the number 6 defense coming into the country. Number 5, Penn State. As I said, if they look anything like they did last year, they'll be fine. The Nittany Lions have lost edge rusher of Dude Carter. Man, that guy was a beast. A top 3 pick in the 2025 NFL draft, but they still have a top 5 defensive line in the country. Zane Durant is Pro Football Focus' second-ranked defensive tackle, and Dana Dennis Sutton placed 9th among edge rushers. Penn State also brings a top 10 secondary and top 15 linebacker unit. Sound pretty good on paper. Sound damn good on paper. So according to Pro Football Focus, Penn State got the number 5 defense in the country. At number 4, the Georgia Bulldogs. A Kirby Smart defense. You know you can't overlook that. You know anything with Kirby Smart name put on it, you can't overlook it. Most likely, it's going to be great. And I have no doubt that Georgia will field one of the best defenses in the SEC. Probably all of college football. I think they fell off a little bit last season, especially in the trenches. But can we expect that 2 years in a row? Can we expect this Georgia defense, especially in the trenches, to continue to decline? Not really. And if it does, it won't be by much. Okay? Now, ever since 2021, everybody is expecting Georgia's defense to be like that 2021 defense. But you can't field a defense like that year in and year out, but you can still be elite. I tell you that right now. That's a word that those Georgia fans love to use. Elite. That's their thing. But Kirby Smart, he always going to have a pretty good defense. But anyway, even after losing 3 first-round picks from last year's defense, Michael Williams, Jalen Walker, and Malachi Starks, the Bulldogs still deserve a place in the top 5. Georgia has Pro Football Focus number 4 linebacker unit, number 7 defensive line, number 9 secondary entering next season or 2025. There are stars at every level, such as defensive tackle Christian Miller, linebacker C.J. Allen, safety K.J. Bolden, and the Bulldogs have the nation's best defensive mind in head coach Kirby Smart, who always seems to produce elite results on that side of the ball. You see what I'm saying? Very true. Very true. Just like I said about Ohio State, Penn State, Notre Dame. Now, Georgia is one of those teams that has elite players on those sidelines just waiting. And I'm telling you, you got the first team players on the field, elite. Second team, elite. Third team, defense. Those guys, elite. They just young, waiting their turn. That's all it is with them Georgia Bulldogs. Hell, if you ask me, I think they should be a little bit higher than 4, if you ask me. But hey, it is what it is. I'm not no part of Pro Football Focus. I'm just a fan of college football in my Alabama Crimson Tide. But according to Pro Football Focus, Georgia got the number 4 defense heading into 2025. All right, at number 3, according to Pro Football Focus, you got Clemson. Clemson got some dogs over there on that defensive side of the ball. Well, one I can think of right offhand, Peter Woods. Oh, my goodness. But anyway, Clemson, they usually have a good defense anyway, man. Usually. Ever since them boys back in I'll say 15 through 18, 19, Clemson keeps a good damn defense. The Tigers boast the best defensive line in all of college football. largely thanks to tackle Peter Woods and edge defender TJ Parker. They're both top 10 players in the nation and project as the best prospects at their respective positions in the 2026 NFL draft. Clemson also has Pro Football Focus fourth ranked secondary thanks to an outstanding trio of corners and top 10 linebacker unit as well. Man, sound damn good on paper. Will it translate over to the field? I believe it will. That defense wasn't no joke last season. I know in game one, they didn't look so hot. But throughout the season, that defense has stepped up and got better and better and better. And I think it's going to be, one of the top 3 defenses in the country, in my opinion. That's just me. But ain't too much to say about Clemson's defense. It's going to show up. And it's going to show up. And Clemson going to win some games because of that defense. Trust me. But according to Pro Football Focus, Clemson got the number 3 defense heading in the 2025. And number 2, you got the Texas Longhorns. Boy, these Texas fans, boy, they on their high horse. Oh, my goodness, man. You can't shut them up. You can't shut them up. Later on today, you'll see a video of me responding to some of them Texas fans. But they can't shut up. I think Texas will be one of the best teams in the country. Yes, I do. Do I think they'll have the number 2 defense in the country? No, I don't. I think they will have a top 5 defense, but not the number 2. That's just me. And I'm being lenient by saying they'll have a top 5. But hey, it is what it is. Texas, they got some stars over there. They've been getting these high caliber, highly recruited 5 and 4 stars. So hey, Texas ain't going to be no pushover. I can tell you that. The Longhorns, back 7 on defense, are easily the best in college football. I beg to differ. Featuring both the top linebacker units and secondary in Pro Football Focus off-season rankings. Anthony Hill Jr. is college football top returning linebacker. Michael Taffy is a top 5 safety, and Malik Muhammad is the 6th ranked cornerback. The Longhorns defensive line come in 10th in Pro Football Focus rankings and features the best edge defender in the nation, sophomore Colin Simmons. I beg to differ, but anyway, that's Pro Football Focus. As I said, Texas will have a great defense, but number 2, I don't think so. Texas is a playoff team, no doubt about it. I think Texas will be one of the best overall teams in the country. But the number 2 defense throughout the duration of the season is hard for me to believe. Okay, so that's just my opinion. Don't jump all on me, Texas fans, because y'all get real sensitive about y'all Longhorns who ain't won a damn thing since 2005. It's 2025 now. Come on now, stop it. Okay, but according to Pro Football Focus, Texas got the number 2 defense ahead of the 2025 season. All right, at number 1, my Alabama Crimson Tide, baby. And I already said everything about this defense that I had to say. But I go over it once again. But let's see what Pro Football Focus got to say first. Even though Nick Saban is no longer in charge, the Crimson Tide still have an elite defense. Alabama ranked 2nd in Pro Football Focus' defensive line and secondary rankings. The Crimson Tide also placed 8th in Pro Football Focus' linebacker unit rankings. Alabama is the only school in college football that features a top 10 player at every defensive position. Every one of them, man. Say it ain't so, man. Man, that offensive line, you got Tim Keenan, you got L.T. Overton, you got James Smith, you got Jeremiah Latham. Oh, man, we got so many guys. Those edge rushers, Yanzi Pierre and Quay Rousseau, linebacker, Justin Jefferson and Deontay Lawson, man. Come on, man. We got transfer, Nikhil Hill Green, man. Man, we gonna be straight. Telling you now, we gonna be straight, man. You got that secondary. You got Sabian Brown and DeMonte Jackson at the corners, man. You got Keon Sav and daggone on the old Bray Hubbard. Say, man, this defense is going to be awesome. Awesome. All right. These guys was young last season. I mean, they was young. But still, Alabama had the number 10 defense in all of college football last season. Young, implementing a new scheme, you know. Coach Kane Womack's first year as the DC with a lot of first-year players. Man, it's going to be awesome to see this Alabama defense in 2025. But according to Pro Football Focus, Alabama got the number 1 defense coming into 2025. And do I agree? You damn right I agree. I know a lot of people talking about Kane Womack and his efforts, some of his efforts in play calling last season. You know what I'm saying? But that's fine. That was last season. It's a whole new season, baby. With some young guys with a whole lot of experience. That's what I do know. And if they managed to become the number 10 defense last year, after all they had to go through, then hey, things are looking way up for my Alabama Crimson Tide in 2025. So, with that being said, according to Pro Football Focus, the top 10 defenses coming into the 2025 season: at number 10, Texas Tech; at number 9, Texas A&M; at number 8, Ohio State; at number 7, Oregon; at number 6, Notre Dame; at number 5, Penn State; number 4, Georgia Bulldogs; number 3, Clemson Tigers; number 2, Texas Longhorns; and rounding out the top 10 at number 1, my Alabama Crimson Tide. Now y'all let me know what y'all think about Pro Football Focus's top defenses heading into the 2025, top 10 defenses heading into the 2025 season. Let me know in the comment section. But until then, y'all be blessed. And remember, KB don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. And roll damn Tide.